is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
To return some videotapes. 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 Videotapes.
Welcome, one and all, to Strange Glow Video on the Ecto Violence channel once again with your hosts, Alec and Justin. I don't think I can call you 11 anymore. Your hair's growing and there's a hat on and stuff.
Yeah, my hair's growing back, and I don't know. My daughter really wants me to grow it out again, so I might just roll with that, you know?
Yeah.
It'll take a while anyway, so just kind of cut it for a little bit of relief.
Kitty smooches going on. There's a black cat in my lap, and Darwin's in front of the camera, so... Oh, he's a tired
Nice.
boy. So today we're going over 2026, what we're looking forward to in movies, maybe some TV shows. I didn't really write any down.
Yeah.
Physical media and anything else relevant, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. I think we're also going to chat a little bit about the Bone Temple, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, which is really funny. By the way, if you're in the chat or, you're watching, we would love to hear from you. Give us a hello.
Yeah,
Give us
sure.
your thoughts on everything we're talking about. Questions, comments, concerns. We like to chat with people. Yeah, I've been going around still calling it 28 inches later.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's like 28 inches later, the Bone Temple.
Yeah, the Boner Temple. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think that looks very... It's crazy how much dong is in this movie.
Yeah, although honestly, it's not as bad as the last one. The last one, for some reason, just feels more like aggressive dong. This one's just like happenstance dong.
Part of that is the character change from Samson, too, though.
Yeah, but it's also the direction. Because these two movies, and I say this as someone who just watched 28 Years Later, because I was just telling you this before we started, that I bought the Blu-ray for it. Because I hadn't yet, and it was on clearance at Walmart. And so I picked it up and watched it, and I was like surprised at how different the filming style actually felt. I was like, was the new one filmed on iPhones too? Like, I guess so, right? It wasn't even a thought to me when I went to go see it anymore. It was just kind of out of my head at this point. But then when I watched the other one, I was like, oh, this is clearly filmed on iPhones. Like, there's moments where it's pretty obvious, and it's still beautiful and done amazingly, right? But I think this new installment was like, it blew me away.
Yeah. This installment, the cinematography looked solid the entire movie. There's only a few times that I was like, oh yeah, they shot these on iPhones.
Yeah.
And some of that was like, it was this weird kind of motion blur that was happening when they were shooting some like exterior scenes of like foliage and plants and stuff, some of like the wide landscape shots,
Yeah.
That was the only time to me that it was really noticeable, because I'm thinking like, you're shooting this on an iPhone, yet like the Bone Temple set itself is phenomenal. Like, it looks so good.
Yeah.
And so like you've got these great sets, and it just looks beautiful on there. I think the Bone Temple looked even better in here than it did in 28 Years Later.
Do you remember the name of the director of this one? She's the same director as like Candyman. I think she directed The Marvels.
Let's see.
What's her name?
I think I had it called up here.
I just can't remember it off the top of my head because it's not a basic ass name.
Yeah, it's not something you've heard a million times.
Yeah.
Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta. Yeah, that's right. I was right with Nia. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent job, though, I think, honestly. This zombie movies have kind of just been out of my fucking peripheral for a while. Like, anytime there's a new one, like there's another one with Daisy Ridley that just came out. There's another zombie movie coming out later this year that's based on a book. I wouldn't say that they're back, because they're not back in popularity. they're like making them again, but I'm not like seeing anybody going on about zombie movies or anything. And if they are, they're really just going on about the Romero stuff, Return of the Living Dead, you know.
Yeah, I think the biggest one on the radar right now is Return of the Living Dead for many people, just because, okay, they announced that
New one, yeah.
and it's finally going to happen. And that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Now, I will say, I think The Walking Dead really just fucking beat the dead horse. The
It's still
living dead
beating
horse.
because it has like
Yeah. Like, I stopped watching The Walking Dead a long time ago. And I never really watched too many of the spins off. I think I watched the first couple seasons of Fear the Walking Dead.
So that was
And then
my
after that,
favorite of the spin-offs. That was the
Yeah.
first one they did, I think, like the first
Mhm.
real one.
it was, yeah.
But they've done like Dead City or something, which is with like Maggie and Negan in New York City. And that one
Yeah.
has like that one's apparently the closest to the original show's tone, like and vibe, and, like,
Okay.
story and plot wise. And then like there's the Daryl one where he apparently ends up in like Europe or some shit. And apparently Carol
Yeah.
ends up in that one. And then there's like the there's like the
See,
one with
you've-
Rick and Michonne. There's like so many that it's hard to even like.
Well, remember when they kicked Rick off the show or he left temporarily and they're like, oh, we're going to have these direct-to-video movies for Rick.
Yeah, they were talking about doing 3 movies with Rick.
Uh-huh. And then none of them ever came to fruition. And you're like, so why did you get rid of his character? I think he was just burnt out on it, honestly, which is fine.
And then he came back for like the end of the show, like the last episode or something.
Yeah.
And then,
And then did they give him his own show again or what?
yeah, they gave him and Michonne a new show,
Okay.
which is got like a season or 2, I think. The new, like,
Yes.
Daryl's on like its 3rd season, I think. Fear the Walking Dead, I think, is over, right? But that one started with like Coleman Domingo in it. That's where I first saw him and was like, oh shit, this guy rules. He's gonna
Yeah.
be.
Cat's got you cutting out. I lost your audio, sir.
Balls.
There it goes. It's back.
Yoshi, get off the
Cats.
microphone.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So, yeah, I just stopped giving a shit about The Walking Dead, and I used to really love that show, and I just got burned out on it. So
I think at some point I'll get the box set for the original series, and
Yeah.
maybe Fear the Walking Dead, and eventually I might like teeter into the other ones, because I do think like that first show, like I feel like you could just cut some things down here and there, and it would be so fucking good. The problem is it does just start to drag on, and like that's part of what the show is about. It's not supposed to be like just a strictly action and horror show. It's supposed to be at the human condition and everything else that's happening in there, which usually works pretty well. But like sometimes
for
you just
sure.
get tired of watching this shit over and over because they can only do so many new things. Like, oh, we discover a new community. Now there's new people threatening it. Now we're fighting it. And you get to a point where there's like people with knights, and there's a guy who calls himself a king, and he has a tiger, and you're like, all right, well, cool, I guess. And that guy's a pretty cool character, though. But
Yeah, I mean, there's some of that, but to your point, some of the seasons felt way too long, especially for the primary show. Like, I remember how long they dragged out like the whole Negan thing, and like he's this big baddie, and then like that was like such a fucking slow burn. And it's not that I didn't enjoy that, but I just felt like there could have been. I would rather have fewer episodes of higher quality.
yeah,
And there's a lot of drama in there, right? And that first season's a horror show, right? Because it's very scary, it's very on the edge of the seat, and then by the 3rd or 4th season, it's really just a soap opera with zombies.
well, it was a
Because
soap opera
it's-
from the beginning, and that's the element actually that, like I said, I'll defend.
Yeah.
Because Twin Peaks is basically a soap opera. Well, it's more of a critique of soap operas, but Walking Dead is like that's one of the elements I like about it. But
I like that with the horror, but when they stopped having as much horror, and I don't even need the zombies for it to be a horror, like the people themselves and like what people are willing to do to each other to survive, I think is half of the horror of that show. But after Negan like really got revealed, you kind of like lose this point of it, and you're just like, God, they all deserve to die. Like none of them are good. You just happen to be on a side of a community that you like, right? So,
Oh yeah, pretty much.
so,
But
but
that's
going back
interesting
to
because characters like I remember at a point Carol gets completely disillusioned with all this shit and is like, everybody's just gonna continue fucking killing each other. That's all this is. We're just pieces of shit now, so I'm gonna go live in this house by myself for a while.
yeah, I mean, it's cleansing, right? You definitely need that. I will say, The Bone Temple was the best zombie movie I've seen in a very, very long time, and mostly because it wasn't full of the same old tropes that shit even 28 years later had, right? Um, you see the infected, and they're still there. There's still some threats to that, and they end on a cliffhanger note of that. But this story is really about the human condition, and holy shit, like the relationship that Ian Kelson has with Samson is just incredible. Like that
So
is so well written, and like he's trying these drugs on him, and like they build this relationship. It's fascinating.
it's fascinating that you say that, especially in point just to the remark you made about tropes, because I thought this took two of the most infamous zombie tropes that are in movies, and it did them slightly differently, or at least uniquely enough that I don't think everybody's realizing that they're just seeing the same shit again, but just done
Well, yeah,
really,
I mean,
really, really fucking well. And the two big ones are going to be Samson, which is just Bubba
yeah,
from Day of the Dead,
uh
with
huh.
Ian being the doctor. It's the same exact thing, and that movie is from 1985. That's like the first big example I can think of that happening in a movie, of like them
But
exploring zombie intelligence and stuff.
I think what makes this unique, obviously, is Ralph Fiennes' role is Ian because he's this guy that like somehow hasn't given up hope, has clearly lost a bunch of stuff, but still gives a fuck. And like in Day of the Dead, it just feels like, you know, fucking zombie torture.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the like the weird part, because normally that's not a thing I like, but I liked it in this and I liked it in Day of the Dead because the character of Bubba, the zombie in there, does just seem like completely innocent in it. And by the end of the movie, he's like shooting the fucking asshole guys that killed his doctor friend.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, I like that. It's very comparable, but it is, like I said, it's just done beautifully. And then the other one's going to be just the chaos element and the gang. Basically, the
Mhm.
other thing is like zombies aren't even the worst thing out here. People are, which is just a
Yes.
huge zombie film trope. Again, Dawn of the Dead does that too. Day of the Dead does it.
Yeah.
They've been doing those for a while, but it's just done beautifully because it's also referencing a bunch of pop culture zeitgeist stuff that like got frozen in time when the apocalypse happened for these people.
Yeah, like Jimmy's obsession with Teletubbies based on his age and being a kid. Fucking amazing.
Teletubbies,
So
like
weird.
Power Rangers, Jimmy Savile. And I joked in
Mhm.
my review, he's actually inspired by Paris Hilton with the jumpsuits, blonde hair, and tiara.
Yeah. And then the other thing, like, as you look at this, the Jimmys feels very much like Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
Like, just with the insane ultra violence they have and like what they do to one another is just wild.
I brought that up at the end of the last movie too, because it was like literally Power Rangers, Clockwork Orange, Teletubbies. Like it's even Ninja Turtles a little bit in there. You know, it's cool as fuck.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's brilliant. And then
Well,
the
and the
ending, that whole
Jimmys,
scene with Iron Maiden and Ray Fiennes as the devil.
that was so fucking cool. Like, I loved how they come to the agreement there. The other thing there that just really shows Dr. Ian's like character that's so fascinating is just the way he's able to get Jimmy to like break down and explain who he is, and actually has a conversation with him, actually see you're budding on character growth there, but
Well, it was
there's
very
just
interesting. Yeah,
with where that guy is, he doesn't have room for character growth. So like he sets it up so like he could redeem himself, but that's not the nature of that character.
Well, they just have a very philosophical conversation. I like how he points out, he's like, oh, the atheist and the Satanist and all that. Then he basically prepares this whole dramatic thing. That whole ending scene is just awesome. He blows the drugs in their face. They
Oh yeah.
they crucify Jimmy. Pretty sick. And he says, why have you
Upside
forsaken
down
me?
to
Which
boot.
is exactly what he says when he hides in the beginning of the 28 years later while the zombies are eating his fucking dad. And yes, we're calling them zombies or infected. It doesn't matter. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I love that about that movie. And the supporting cast in this is excellent. Right? So Jimmy Inc. is played by Erin Kellyman. And you look at her credits, she's in Solo, a Star Wars story. So not a great role because Solo is not an amazing movie, but she's good in it for her role.
Yeah.
She was in the Willow movies they did, or the TV series they did that I don't think you can even watch that anymore. I think they pulled that off Disney.
Yeah.
Unfortunate because she's good in that too. And so seeing her character in there, I'm like, damn, she's done some awesome stuff. Our buddy Sir Jimmy Crystal also appeared in Sinners.
Yeah. Jack O'Connell, is that his name?
Yep, that's him.
We have a comment. Scream 7, any thoughts? We're going to get to that shortly here.
Yeah, that's for sure on the list.
Yeah, I gave it a... Well, I'm not going to say. You'll have to watch my review to see my full thoughts on that. It just came out, though, a few hours ago. It's on the channel.
Gotcha. Yeah, so there's so much stuff to talk about. Yeah, Bone Temple though, I really enjoyed. We were talking briefly offline before we started the stream here that you said you think this is very close to being your first in the series with overall ratings.
Yes. It, you know, my expectations were mid because I liked the last one, but I wasn't like, holy shit. I kind of felt like that in the theater when I watched it, but then like, you know, it's like, all right. Because Weeks is like very mid to me. It has its fans. People love that movie, but like, it's only okay. Days I like, and I actually liked it more on my most recent rewatch. But a lot of people do like that movie and the franchise in general more than me. So, but I think this one was right fucking up there. It's at least better than Weeks in the first years for sure.
So, for me, I'm torn on a few things. So I feel like this one's more rewatchable than the original. The original to me, and it could just be a thing from the time and place that it came out with, but the original one is very much still gives me a ton of existential dread.
Yeah.
Like it's just uncomfortable to watch, almost in the same way that Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind gives me that same like existential dread and like sickness of just like fucking how terrible humanity is and like just existing is fucking exhausting at times.
Yeah.
And so both of those movies kind of fit in that same play. But in this movie, I feel like we got really good character story. And, you know, this is a really good story within a world of zombies or infected. And I was just overall really excited about it. I hope they do the third one. You know, there's no guarantee they're going to do a third one in this 28 years. They haven't filmed it yet. They've talked about it. I don't know if they're waiting on box office numbers from this or what their game plan was, but
I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But this is making less than 28 years, but like we'll see how it does overall. I don't know. I don't think these are super expensive movies to make. I mean, obviously, Ray Fiennes is not cheap, but that would be like the most expensive thing I can think of to make this movie. And even he would probably, you know, he made enough off Harry Potter. He's probably like just doing projects for him now. I mean,
for sure,
a horror movie to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then if you saw, he was in that movie where they're deciding on the new Pope. and I watched that just because it was free to stream, and he's really good in that too. So like he's an excellent performer. I'll tell
Oh,
you
yeah.
that.
I love him in Red Dragon.
Yeah. I was surprised that Spike's role was kind of pushed so far back into this movie. Yeah, it does. And then I do love how Ian recognizes his eyes. Like he looks into that mask and can see it. Because I'm like, how is he not going to recognize him or say anything? But then he looks in those eyes and recognizes those eyes. And I love that they were still there for each other, even though they killed off Ian. So like, that's wild. But some of the torture stuff, some of the body horror in this is really wild. Especially when Spike stabs that other guy, and like none of that bothers you until like he's bleeding out everywhere, and like they show you the gashing hole on his leg that's bloody. I'm like, that's intense. Like that's pretty good, you know. Yeah, taking their shirt, yeah, where they're cutting their skin off their torso and everything, and then the fighting to be a Jimmy and be one of the seven fingers to me was fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that concept. Again, it goes back to that that Clockwork Orange level of like terror and violence.
Mhm.
So, and then you think about Chi Lewis Perry, who played Samson, and that's a hell of a fucking role because you think about it. Okay, a zombie, right? You just see his like slow progression towards reclaiming his sanity, especially after being so overbearing and like such a drastic villain in 28 years later.
Well, yeah, I love that he is like listening to "Girls on Film" by Duran Duran, and then what's that song called? "Beautiful World" or something. It's not "Beautiful World," but something. It's a
Sure.
Wonderful World. I don't know what it's fucking called. Another Duran Duran song off of Rio, and then later he's singing Rio to him while they're tripping on drugs and dancing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I loved when Samson like said moon finally, like as he's about to euthanize him, you're just like, holy shit, okay. That's fascinating. Because then he's like realizing, like, okay, this virus, like you're not completely gone, but part of your brain's there. So like you're finding out a ton of stuff about this that you forget how small the world we're dealing with is because this is all in the basically exclusion zone, right? This is the area where no one's supposed to go in, no one's supposed to go out of.
Yeah.
And that's fascinating too, right? I think that's one of the things that made 28 years later great was when that soldier comes through and is like helping them out, and they'd had a boat wreck and are dealing with all that kind of crap. And you forget that there's this world at large out there, but the world at large doesn't give a fuck because they've got everyone trapped here.
Yeah.
Like they don't care to cure it, they just don't give a fuck. And that just says so much about humanity, like shit we're dealing with now, especially in the US. So good social commentary on there. I think my favorite thing Samson did in that whole movie is like you see him slowly come back. You see his eyes become less and less bloodshot throughout as he's doing these drugs. But I think the thing that, besides saying moon, when you see him walking around and you see him grab a blackberry and pick that blackberry and like rub it between his fingers and taste it, I was like that's that humanity coming back to him. And I thought that was like such an amazing scene in that movie. Like the subtlety of that, just, like somebody that's normally like in a scene early is brutally eating someone's brains raw out of their skull after they rip their head off, like Mortal Kombat style.
I was about to
like
say, yeah,
pick a
Sub-Zero,
blackberry.
so-
Yeah, to pick that blackberry, try that and eat that, like really beautifully done just to kind of show the humanity returning
Yeah.
in a way that's unexpected. So I don't know, I walked out of there like feeling not as much existential dread as you normally feel like in a post-apocalyptic movie like that. So I was feeling pretty good about it, even though, watching the whole thing, you're like, aren't we supposed to see Cillian Murphy in here somewhere? And then he shows up.
Yeah, I wasn't even worried about him. Honestly, I just
I had
didn't think
assumed
he
it
was
would be
gonna
some
read
sort of a
anything but a small bit in this one.
yeah.
Which I was right, obviously. It's just I like the way they're doing that. They're kind of setting threads and setting
Yes.
up the next one with the last one, kind of like they did with 28 Years and Jimmy. But Jimmy was at the beginning of 28 Years and the end,
Yeah. I like how they sandwiched that in there and they told that story. And then I'd like to, like I said, I really want to see the story be finished. Um,
Yeah.
see Cillian Murphy his character be a father and dealing with all this. And then he has that moment of hesitation. He's like, do we help him? And he's like, of course we help him.
Yeah.
So,
So, moving along.
yeah.
We also have Tales from the Shelf in the chat. What up, fellas? So let's talk movies of 2026 that we're looking forward to. Obviously, first let's just talk Scream 7, because I feel like we're beating the dead horse with this, but because of the Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega situation, and then them hiring, which is a big negative, but then them rehiring Kevin Williamson to write and direct, Marco Beltrami coming back, Nev Campbell, et cetera, McKenna Grace, Celeste O'Connell being involved, Matthew Lillard, which I have mixed feelings on, but like overall, that's how I'm feeling. Is I have really mixed feelings on them even making this movie. Obviously, since the last two were successful, they were going to do it, but they've been pumping them out now, and it's almost like the Scream movies always had something to say. I don't know if this one just has something to say or not. You know what I mean? At least 1, 2, 3, and 4, even 5 had something to say. 6 kind of did just feel like, hello, we're doing a thing.
Yeah, they really started getting to that point.
You're like, this is what a reboot sequel would be. Like, I don't know, So this one, I don't know if it's going to have anything meta or relevant in terms of horror films to say. You know what I mean? But
yeah, or like, what is it going to have to say, like, on the current state of society and all that? Like, there's got to be a reason for this movie, and I feel like the reason at this point was it was greenlit, and then they had to pivot when they fired the cast there, and like to me, it seems like you should have just shelved it for a while and come back to it later when you felt more comfortable with that, because.
But on the other hand, I always have loved the Scream films, and
yeah,
now I think I do really enjoy all 6 that we currently have. Some of them more than others, but I think they're pretty strong overall. And the Matthew Lillard thing has me, because my least favorite part of the last 2 movies was the Billy Loomis Force Ghost, which is, I know it's not an actual ghost, he's like a hallucination, but like that whole element is the element I don't like in those movies. Everything else I kind of love about him, but
yeah, and allegedly the rumor is that in this third one, like, he was going to talk his daughter into being a killer like he was, and I'm just like,
well, that was the point. That's a dumb rumor. Whoever said that is probably fucking wrong, because that's too predictable and stupid.
Yeah.
It's like having Luke Skywalker turn to the dark side in Return of the Jedi. No, he's going to be tempted and he's going to come close, but then he's going to be like, fuck off, like she did in the other 2 movies already.
Yeah. Or like, I'm fine if you lead me down a path that makes me think that in the movie, but then you find out that she's really not. That would,
Which, again, they did in 6. So,
yeah,
I just didn't see.
I don't know. To your point, yeah, the Matthew Lillard thing, they've waited so long. I think the hype there is really going to fuck things up.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like everyone, like in the trailer showing the institution on there, everyone's just like, okay, he's institutionalized. He has been for whatever, yada, yada, yada. So, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Like the casting, some of the other choices that are coming back to this have me optimistic. But I'm also very much in a spot of like, did they need to do this one at this point in time? Only, we'll know in a month. Coming right up.
Yeah. Other films, I don't know if I'm going to see this or not, but I might go see it on my birthday because it comes out the day after, so I should be able to see it the night of. But Send Help by Sam Raimi's coming out. Now, the trailers don't have me completely sold, but it's Sam Raimi, and it's R-rated, so I'm willing to give it a shot. I just, the trailers, I'm like, eh.
I haven't watched the trailer to that yet, honestly, but knowing that it's Sam Raimi and it's his first rated R movie in a very long time, I'm in. Yeah. I want to see it. I wouldn't say like I'm losing my mind over it, but it's definitely on the radar because of what it's offering.
From what I gather in the trailers, it's like two people on a work trip, but they're in like an island setting, and they get lost there or something, and they have to like fight creatures that, and like they get into mishaps and shit. I don't know.
Okay.
It looks like it's a more drama version of like some of those romantic comedies of the 90s. I don't even know,
Yeah.
man. It looks weird.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see that.
We have The Bride and The Mummy coming out this year.
Yeah, which is wild. So that Bride movie, right? Everyone says, "Oh, it's a Universal movie." The classics are, and this is a Warner Brothers movie directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. I do like the trailer of that. It's pretty exciting. Looking forward to that quite a bit.
It has my attention. We'll see.
Yeah.
Then The Mummy. I don't even know much about that one. It's just another Mummy remake. I'm more excited about Brendan Fraser returning whenever that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2 is coming.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the trailer for that quite a while ago now. That was pushed
I
back.
feel like, yeah, they pushed that one back. So
It'll be interesting to see. Scary
this
movies.
one's so for me, I really want to see the Mario Galaxy movie, mostly because the kids are a fan. Enjoyed the first one well enough. The second one looks interesting, and having seen my oldest play through all the Mario games and kind of knowing all the stories of where they are, it's like, okay, I can, I'm looking forward to taking them to see that. That's on my list for sure.
I
Is it something?
Won't be seeing that, but I'm happy for your children's connection with that. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like trying to get them into the movies, you want to take them to see movies. So
Yeah.
that's more the top reason for that. A movie that already came out, which we mentioned, was Bury Your Dead. Was the other zombie movie that just came out this year, I want to say.
Yeah, Primate or Primal.
Primate is also out too. So yeah, so that's
Primal.
two that I've already missed. I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I wanted to see Primate at least. I knew movies like that are hard to watch because I like animals, but I could tell that was going to be a good one regardless.
Yeah, that looked really good.
Scary Movie 6.
Mm-hmm.
Wayans Brothers returning.
Yeah, that should be a solid. If they're going to come back and they're going to do something with that, it should be interesting. So.
The Odyssey. So the Odyssey, I actually think I'm interested in. I didn't even get this. I still haven't seen Oppenheimer.
Neither have I.
I like Chris Nolan.
Oh no, I saw
Just
Oppenheimer.
we're
Which
on
one
a
have I
first-name
not seen?
basis, me and Chris.
Yeah.
No, but I really liked The Prestige, and I liked Inception and Interstellar and all of his Batman movies, obviously. But
I think the only one of his I haven't seen is Dunkirk. Had you seen that one yet?
No, I didn't see Dunkirk either, and I haven't seen the one with was Chadwick Boseman in one of them? Is that a different movie I'm thinking of? Because I didn't see the fucking movie. I've only seen the trailers for Tenet. Yeah, I'm completely making that up that he's in that, but the Odyssey though looks fascinating. At least there's enough of a weird cast going on there that I'm going to see that. I think I had the book or a kid's version of that book that told the story of it when I was a kid. That I got through Scholastic, and it had really detailed drawings that were really horrific. So I can remember a lot of the shit that happens in that story, like soldiers being turned into pigs, Medusa. There's a Cyclops battle.
Yeah, the Odyssey is fascinating. So I will definitely see it. I don't know how hyped I am about it right now. I'm intrigued, but I'm not like, oh, I've got to see that movie. But
normally, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Give a shit about gladiators and stuff, but it's kind of like it's giving almost like Lord of the Ringsy. Like this is almost fantasy, territory to me, myth lore and shit.
Yeah.
Then we've got Evil Dead Burn, and then. I am stoked for
Yeah.
that.
I'm excited for that one. Really liked Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh yeah, I didn't even write that
I'm.
down.
I don't know if I give a shit, man. I just don't.
That's the thing.
I got. Sorry, the dog's scooting around. And Matt, go to bed.
We got Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Yeah, I just.
Or were you saying more
Yes,
about
I am
Star
hyped
Wars?
about that one. Oh, so to tell you about my state of Star Wars, like I went to Disneyland the other day, right?
Yeah.
And we had limited time there, so we were trying to balance time for everything we could do, but didn't even go to the Star Wars area. Didn't see a single bit of it.
That's
Now,
wild.
granted, it's in the very back corner of the park, and I wanted to go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride more than see that. So, I mean, had I chose
That's
to skip
fucking
rides,
crazy
I
to
probably
me.
could have gone and seen it. Eh,
I would much rather go to Star Wars anything than Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't know. That's just me.
well, it's a ride, so. But seeing all that, I got to do that, and then the Spider-Man ride over there too, the web slingers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm just at a spot with Star Wars, man. I just feel like they need to figure out what they're doing. The consistency and quality of the shows has been so hit or miss. It doesn't seem like they've got a drastic big picture now. Kathleen Kennedy leaving, we'll see how things go. The fact that Disney
I
has
don't think the
taken so
quality
many.
has ever been an issue with the stuff they've been making. It's the quantity, to be honest. They're making so much it's hard to keep up because they've made some good shit. Andor's and The Mandalorian, I've heard anyway that Andor's good. But The Mandalorian, I did think it was good. It's just that, like, by the time the third season came out, I just kind of had checked out. I just don't know if I give a shit because there's so much coming out. I would almost rather them have made movies of that shit to begin with.
Well, I think that's where they really fucked themselves because they started doing all these series during the pandemic, and then the pandemic kind of took a while to get theaters back and up and going again. I'm like, look, if you want to help save movie theaters, make some more Star Wars movies,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think of the quality of a story we could have gotten just for Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. I feel like because they made that a series, they had to drag a lot of shit out that would have been much more interesting as a movie.
Yeah, I did enjoy that series, but if I watched it back, I'd probably be like, yeah, cut it down a little bit.
Yeah.
The new Resident Evil, which is coming from the guy from Weapons and Barbarian, and again, very mixed feelings. This guy has already said that he doesn't give a shit about the games, essentially.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, Jesus. Oh, God damn it. It's happening. Why?
Yeah.
There's a new Street Fighter movie coming out. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for that. The trailer for that is intriguing. And like there's this like movie war going on. Like their trailer is kind of like talking shit on the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer and stuff. Like our movie is going to match the video game. And like the trailer of that movie very much looks like it is a live action version of the video game where they're like, story, we don't fucking need story. We just need it to look like the video game on screen.
Well, I was about to say the images that I saw were like really funny. Like the casting
Guile's haircut and
is
stuff. Like,
insane.
yeah.
Ow, why are you biting my titty? Jesus.
I am really looking forward to the new Spielberg movie, Disclosure Day.
I am, and I'm not. Okay, wait. Here's the Street Fighter cast I want to talk about real quick before we move on.
Okay.
David Dastmalchian as Bison.
Hey, David Dastmalchian. Yeah, he's from Kansas City.
Yeah, however you say his name, I don't give a shit. I've heard it both ways.
Okay.
Eric Andre is in it.
Who the hell does he play?
Don Savage, whoever that is.
Okay.
50 Cent as Balrog.
That's cool.
Jason Momoa as Blanca. Okay, they got some wrestler as Zangief. That's cool. Orville Peck. Who is that? Orville Redenbacher? Orville Peck is a South African country musician based in the
Okay.
U.S. and Canada. He's playing Vega. They have
Interesting.
E. Honda, Cammy, Julie, Joe, Marvin, Guile, Bison, Akuma, being played by some other wrestling dude who just looks like
Interesting.
Jason Momoa. I don't know any of the other people either. Some dude from Disney Channel's playing Ken.
Well, that's going to be a fascinating movie. Like, will that be any good? I have no fucking idea, but do I want to see it? I do. I really do.
Yeah, I don't... We will see. It says it's set in 1993, too. That's funny. That's pretty sick.
Oh, that's awesome.
So...
I wasn't even...
Then Avengers Doomsday. It's the last one I have on the list.
Yeah. Avengers Doomsday, I am looking forward to a lot. Mostly just because it seems like they're finally going to kind of wrap up this iteration of the MCU
Well, yeah.
and start to recast.
They're not starting to recast anything yet. They're going to finish their... After Secret Wars and after whatever else they have planned out, that's when they'll do that. But what they've done is fully accept that they're going to do that, so there's no point in recasting the X-Men when we can just fucking bring in the X-Men one last time and say fuck it, which is what they were trying to avoid for like 10, 15 years, and they could have done and integrated a lot sooner, which could have
As soon as they
mixed
bought,
results. But yeah, that's where we're at this point. They're going to wrap up everything Marvel and then just start fresh again eventually, whenever they do.
Yep, and I'm okay with that, honestly, because it's gotten so convoluted. I would like things to be a little more simple.
Yeah, well, I would like just a break from it in general. They should take like literally maybe a decade off. I don't know, at least 5 years before they're making more Marvel Universe type movies.
If they want to start off with however they're going to reboot X-Men as an origin story and do some of the stuff we haven't seen a million times. Because right when you think about it, X-Men only had one movie. Right? The others were, I mean, Days of Future Past kind of was a prequel in concept, in theory, right? The X-Men had the prequels they made after the original X-Men. So I'm just saying, no, there wasn't a full reboot ever. So everything's kind of been a sequel or a prequel there. They've never fully rebooted the X-Men. So I think just to get to the point and do that would be cool early on. But you don't need like tying everything together cinematically like immediately, right? Give it some breathing room. Give us a couple of years. Kind of retconned the origin to some degree because then they did those. Yeah, it does.
We're in that new fucking trailer. Those are dead characters in that universe. But
Yeah.
like they go back in time and fuck shit up. And then there's like the Logan universe that doesn't quite fit in with any timeline either.
Yeah.
It's kind of
No,
like
it's
the
its own
future
thing.
of
Yeah.
one of these alternate potential timeline. You know what I mean? Same with Deadpool. It kind of fits in, but it doesn't. But it also fits in with Marvel. Like it takes place in that universe, but there's Avengers warships down in there as well. Like, and now it's obviously crossed over and multiverse shit, whatever. But like,
very convoluted to follow. If you were to put it on paper, it'd be a kind of a pain in the ass to break it out into timelines.
That doesn't even include like New Mutants and shit. I never even see that one.
Yeah.
But I do X-Men's my favorite. I still really enjoy those movies. Even the third one, like, not as bad as people make it out to be. I enjoy that one.
No,
No,
it's
Wolverine
still-
Oranges is pretty shit, but and
yeah.
so was well, Apocalypse wasn't great either, let's be honest. And then the one they did after that was even worse. Even though like it had elements like the costumes and stuff, they were aiming in the right direction in some places, but
Yeah, it was still a misfire. Fox just didn't really know how to handle the costumes and like the comic book movie of those sequels. Like they started off trying to be grounded a little bit more in reality, which wound up working for Batman when they did that with Nolan's trilogy, but it just never really caught on the same way because like you're still dealing with people with superpowers. So like who the fuck cares how they dress? Like why are you so conservative with your outfits and costumes when these people are magical and fantastical?
that's why it was cool to see the Wolverine outfit in the Deadpool movie. Like that was probably still
Yeah.
the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
Just having it in there.
Yeah, so I said for me, Disclosure Day seems interesting for Spielberg. That's on my list. It's an alien movie, which we know he does alien movies fairly well, right? And so there's some positive stuff there. He's not pumping out movies all the time. He's, not really working at a crazy level anymore. And at least what has me interested is it's a Spielberg movie that's going to take place at least to some degree in Kansas City. Now, I don't believe any of it was actually filmed here. They may have done some exterior shots and stuff like that, but that has my interest peaked.
Yeah.
So I do want to see that. And then, when you just look at the list of movies for this year, The Return of the Living Dead, I'm interested in seeing. It's a silly movie that I'll see that like I really don't have to care to see, but I will see the new Jackass movie just because why not? Those are usually entertaining.
I watched like 20 minutes of the last one and I was like, this sucks. I don't know if I'm just past that or if it actually did suck, but I did not finish it, couldn't finish it. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the movie release, so the third chapter of Dune's coming out this year. I still haven't seen any of the other ones that came out yet. Have you watched any of the new Dunes?
No, I kind of just don't give a shit though.
Yeah. Jumanji 3's coming out. Violent Night 2's coming out, which we'll see, man. David Harbour seems to be kind of a
immediately
shit
forgot
human
that
in real life.
movie. That movie
Yeah.
sucked, in my opinion. It was fucking way overhyped. I was bored out of my mind.
Another fucking Hunger Games movie. Okay. McKenna Grace is in the next one, I guess, apparently. And Ralph Fiennes, so okay. Interesting. Godzilla Minus Zero. Fuck yeah. Add that onto my list. And then the only other thing I saw that was kind of noteworthy that caught my attention. Let's see, what was that? Oh, Spider-Man Brand New Day. It looks good. Obviously, I like the Spider-Man stuff. But yeah, there's so much sequel, like Minions 3 is this year.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl, I don't really give a shit about. Toy Story 5, I'll probably see if the kids want to see. Scary Movie 6, yeah. So what I'm really looking forward to is to see like some good independent small movie releases that I haven't heard about and get hyped up and come out. Like Weapons came out of nowhere last year. I was like, oh, check out this trailer. Cool. Intrigued.
I didn't watch the first season, to be honest, but Monarch Legacy of Monsters, I have seen trailers of the next season of that as well. And
The first season of that show, yeah, the first season, that's really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
So that's fun. I am interested. I would like to see that. Did I even see the last one they released? New Empire?
Oh,
2024? I don't think I did.
that's the one where they go down into the Kong world, I think, isn't it?
I mean, that happens in Godzilla X Kong or versus Kong, whatever it's called. The 2021 one.
Yeah, but I thought they go back into there. I don't know. Maybe I
I don't
haven't
know,
seen
they
that one yet
might.
either. Then shit. I know Monarch was a good TV series though. As far as TV series this year go, I didn't really jot any TV series down. I just kind of focused on movies, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty of TV series. Oh, I guess I am looking forward to the next season of Shrinking on Apple TV. That's Harrison Ford, Jason Segel, and Michael J. Fox is going to be on this season, so that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Have you picked up any releases lately?
That 28 years later, I got the first season jacket cover of Northern Exposure. I've never watched the show, but I'm interested in seeing it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've just never gotten around to watching it.
Seems very fascinating to me. So
picked up Evil Dead Rise on Blu-ray the other day. I didn't have that. I had a digital copy of it, and
the digital copy did not work, by the way.
It didn't?
Nope.
Was it used already?
It said it had expired, and then I changed one of the letters to an O from a 0 just to see if I was fucking around. I think it's the last letter in the number, but either or. One way it said expired, the other it said invalid. So I was like, fucking A. I tried to enter it like 3 times because I was entering my 28 weeks later, and then I was opening Tusk, my DVD, and there was a slip in there still, and I was like, I don't think I've redeemed that, and it worked still. So
yeah, for a while they're actually letting them expire, and then I think they got a bunch of heat for like, why the fuck would these codes expire? And so then I've had stuff that said it expired like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, still work now.
Oh yeah,
they're just accepting them. What I just realized about Evil Dead Rise though is Nell Fisher makes her acting debut in that, and she was just in this final season of Stranger Things as the youngest sister in the Wheeler family.
Yeah.
And then I also snagged the Final Destination Blu-ray set, 6 films. Got that for $20.
I have the 5-film set and then Bloodlines on Blu-ray. I actually have a video coming out on Final Destination 3, a Walmart exclusive bonus disc that I found at a thrift store a while ago.
Oh, no shit. That's cool. I love that stuff.
The most popular video on my channel is a Final Destination 3 Choose Their Fate like DVD special feature like video. So I was like, fuck it, I may as well make a video about this too. Yeah, I've gotten a lot the last couple months, and my birthday is coming up, and I asked for a certain Lost box set. Now it is not a full box set; it is only 1 season of the show, but it is essentially a Lost orientation kit for the Dharma Initiative, which is a organization in the show which you still haven't seen, so it won't make much sense. But there's a actual VHS in this kit with like footage that the characters watch on a tape in the movie that's on this tape. So it's like in-universe kind of proppy, it's fucking sick.
Yeah,
There's patches from some of the uniforms that are worn by these people, and then just a bunch of cool shit in there.
Yeah, I think that'll be one of my next watches to start going through. Like that'll be
it's a good
episode,
watch.
couple episodes. Yeah, a couple episodes a week later on. I've got so much stuff to catch up on. I still haven't seen all of Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, there's actually several people from Lost coming to the convention here.
Oh, Planet Comic-Con one's coming up.
Yeah. They just announced, I think Mark Pellegrino is his name. He's from Supernatural as well, but...
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw that announcement, yeah.
He's in Lost as a very interesting character, so...
That's cool.
And then they have What's-His-Face that's also in Twister. So, it'd be cool to have him sign the Twister tape, but also... Shit.
Oh, yeah, because he was in The Black Phone, right? As the dad?
I'm not 100% sure. Didn't see
that. Same guy. Yeah, the dad from The Black Phone. Did you ever watch The Black Phone, the original?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just never mustered up. Didn't feel like it.
So in Twister, the photographer that has the stuff in the lens and Helen Hunt makes the joke about him twisting the sketching the twisters. I was going to say twisting the sketchers, but that sounds like something completely different. Yeah, he's the dad in that, and I just realized that. I'm like, oh, okay. Once they announced that, so that'd be cool to add to the autograph collection. And then Ernie Hudson will be there too. So
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have him sign Ghostbusters on VHS because I don't have any signatures on a Ghostbusters VHS yet. So
oh, nice.
gonna
Yeah.
get that. Last weekend, I did get Chris Sarandon on my Fright Night VHS. It was cool.
Oh,
to
sweet.
meet him. He's fucking 83 and he's just walking around doing conventions and shit. Chilling.
He's in good shape for 83. Like that was cool.
Yeah. And then I met Brian O'Halloran. Obviously, had him sign my Clerks VHS, and he was saying that he just found on eBay or something or online, some dude had a bunch of oh fuck, now I can't remember. What's that movie where he played a clown?
Oh, one of the only things he's done outside of.
Yeah, he's Vulgar. That's what it's called, right?
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it's called. But he said he found somebody selling 300 copies of that movie on VHS. They just had a bulk stock of them, and he's gonna buy it and sell them.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome. So you should sign it and sell them too. I'd definitely pick one of those up. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, this thing, he had it was $30 for him to autograph that tape. You know what I mean? It was not expensive.
Yeah.
It was $80 for Chris Sarandon. So, but I was like, that's worth it because now I have Fright Night and Lost Boys autograph. That's sick. Oh, Keith David's also going to be there, so I'm going to try to track down a copy of The Thing on VHS because I still don't have one, but
oh,
I want to have him sign that shit.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, there's some good stuff coming up here. That's coming up at the end of March. While you were doing that for that con last weekend, though, I was in California, so I didn't get to go crazy with movie locations, but I did the backlot tour again. I saw the Lion Estates signs from Back to the Future on there. Did we see those the first time?
No, but we did see the cars from the future and some of the past as well.
So they'd moved all the cars where they were showing up before, so it was hard to see them because they had them on each side of your trolley car. So you couldn't see all the cars super easily, but they pointed some of those out, and they also had a really cool display for Nope that they'd added that wasn't there before.
Yeah, that's cool.
The Super Mario World thing was awesome. I got to see the screen-used DeLorean that they'd restored was out there on the lot, so that was really cool. I got to take a picture of just the car with nobody there, and then I also took a picture of me with a Marty McFly impersonator, which guy was nice enough, but he's trying to talk to you in character, and his voice is nothing like Michael J. Fox's, but he kind of had the height and stature, so I get it, but I was like, you don't need to talk to me, man. Just do your thing. You're more of a look the part, not speak the part. But and then I went to the Twin/Lone Pines Mall, which is the Puente Hills Mall, and that mall is a fucking dump. I am glad I got to go see the outside of that mall because I don't know if they're going to demolish it or what, but I went inside because the youngest was with me and she needed to use the bathroom, she said. So we go inside this mall and every shop in there is closed besides there's a barber shop in there, some other random shop. I think the AMC movie theater still was going in there. I did not drive around to verify that it was open. The food court was entirely, completely closed. Not a single shop in the food court, which is where the bathrooms were by. And a ton of stuff had closed right after the holiday season. And then as I was leaving from being inside the mall, there was a sign saying basically that it had been bought out in 2024 and that it had a redesign, whatever they're going to do to the mall, which is why all the shops inside are closing. I don't know if they're going to demo part of it or all of it and do that, but glad I got to see that in person because the outside of the building still looks pretty much the same besides, some trees and shit that have changed, but the building architecture and everything was there. And then South Pasadena, man, I went to South Pasadena, saw the Halloween house that had been, that's a crazy story I learned about. So the original Halloween house was scheduled to get demolished. They demolished a ton of other house on that street, and somebody saw that they were about to demolish it and went up and offered the owner of the house $500 or whatever to move it. And so they moved it to a spot illegally because they didn't have anywhere to move it. But just to save it from demolition, they had to get it moved. And they moved it to the spot where it still lives today by this railroad crossing illegally on the railroad spot. And the railroad just like let them leave it there.
Hmm.
So like it's in a real awkward spot, but pretty cool to see that original house there.
Yeah.
And then obviously the bushes from Halloween are still there outside of that house. Like, so that was really cool to see that.
That is one that's very iconic. I see a lot of people go there who are going out there for these things, but like it still looks great. It's like how Nightmare on Elm Street looked when we went is not how it looks now. If you see people go now, that's like covered in bushes and they've completely fucked it for people on purpose.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, I guess it's. But it's like, don't buy the Nightmare on Elm Street house, bitch.
Well, it's like the last owner of the Goonies house. Like the current owner of the Goonies house, like understands and loves the movie, but like don't buy a fucking pop culture movie house if you don't fucking want to deal with tourists. Like, not to be that guy, but like,
yeah,
and
that's
I'm
just a
obviously
growing industry too. Like, and thing that's happening is filming locations. Like that's why that
yeah.
on-set cinema with that guy that's so successful. He's got a lot of cool ones coming up this year.
Yeah.
For example, I wish I could just up and travel when I wanted to because he's doing My Bloody Valentine 3D, and they're actually going to tour the mine and everything from that movie.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like, fuck yeah. I love that movie too. I love the original,
Yeah.
but
Kenny's doing some really kick-ass stuff over there that if you're not following him and checking out his stuff, I'd highly recommend it.
yeah.
I was able to, I went and looked at his stuff, because he's got the Myers house replica out there. And so I looked at him his photos when he went to visit the Michael Myers house. That was cool to see.
Yeah.
And then I went by some Back to the Future houses, which is kind of crazy. There's 3 houses on one street from that film. So George's house is the furthest away, and you don't see as much of that. You see most of it's in the backyard when he's hanging clothes up.
I'm not sure where it's at. Did you see Doc's mansion?
That was not in South Pasadena, so it wasn't close enough. So like for me, I had limited time and was just trying to like get the most bang for my buck because I wrote out a list of like 20 movie locations and kind of where they were. And then as I was writing out places I wanted to see, I was like, oh, South Pasadena. So I saw 5 in South Pasadena. I was like, okay, I'm going there.
Yeah.
And then you see Lorraine's house, right? Which is cool because I was able to get shots of the house there, and the tree that George is on is still there in really good shape. And down by that tree is where there's the concrete that says Back to the Future was filmed here in 1985. Like, so the owner did that when they replaced the concrete and wrote that in there. I thought was really cool. The one shot I completely missed getting just because I got the pictures of the tree. I got pictures of the sidewalk, but I missed the one where you see that house where that tree's at. I missed one of their front door because you see Marty by that door when he's looking up talking to George. And I was just like limited time to like trying to go through stuff. And I was like, shit, I missed that one when I realized what I'd done. I was like, well, at least I got there to see it and walk by it and check everything out. And everyone was really cool. And, nobody cared or said anything. As long as you're respectful of people's property and stuff, no one cares,
Usually.
Took pictures from where I could and, so really happy to see those sites. I thought about going by some of the sites that we'd been to before, but I was like, I'm just going to go to 100% new sites.
Didn't check out Ferris Bueller's house?
No, from where we took that just wasn't on my route to hit Universal in time. So it would have taken me out of the way to go by there. But I did look it up. It just wasn't going to fit smoothly into my route with where I needed to go. So.
All right, let's talk.
Yeah. Asking where the hell it's at. Yeah.
We've got Dead Alive, the Peter Jackson film, which I think is the one that's for sure out of his early films that's coming to 4K. And hopefully we will also get Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, and I don't know if The Frighteners has a 4K release. I don't think so. I think it only has Blu-ray. I do have DVDs of all 3 of those movies except Meet the Feebles, but...
So he is working on those?
Well, he's been working on the 4K scans for those apparently for a long time, but Dead Alive's the only one I think might be actually coming this year. I've heard,
okay.
murmurs. Stranger Things box set, hopefully. Again, did a video on this, a couple actually,
Yeah.
and I hope that's coming. I just do.
Yeah, and I hope they include the making of episode on there. Like, if you're going to go through all the trouble to have this on there, include that too.
Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. I really hope they do a physical media release for that.
I can't imagine that they wouldn't, but you just never know.
That's the thing. I want a limited. It doesn't have to be limited edition, but I assume it would be. But I want a release of that. I haven't bought. I only have a couple Tarantino movies on even Blu-ray. I don't think I have any on 4K. I don't actually.
Yeah, I had a ton of his stuff on Criterion Collection DVD, and I just never upgraded all of them.
I
Right?
don't think they released any of that on Criterion though.
I thought Pulp Fiction was, and I thought Jackie Brown for sure were on Criterion.
No, those were
Were they
just
not?
cool box sets.
Oh, okay.
Because I have those as well, but they're not Criterion.
Okay. Yeah.
But those were really fun. Like those are like some of the best 90s physical media releases out there, like mid to late. I think those were probably actually the second releases for those, like 5-year anniversaries, if I'm recalling correctly, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. 'Cause didn't the Pulp Fiction have the Jackrabbit Slim's menu in it at the time?
At least the first versions of it that came out did, because when I bought mine, it
Yeah.
did not have that anymore.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. There was also the Reservoir Dogs editions that had different colors and different characters.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the Mr. Pink one was a pink case.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen like all of those at a half price books, and I was like, man, they're $5 each. Do I get them? I did not, but I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to buy 4 copies of the same movie, but it's so cool.
Yeah, the novelty of that's awesome, but do you really
Exactly.
need that? Yeah, I get it.
Let's see. Spaceballs has a Arrow 4K coming this year. I do already have a Blu-ray, so I don't really. Yeah, we'll see. What the hell is that? Oh, Welcome to Derry. I still didn't watch it, but it is getting a Blu-ray release and a 4K release.
Yeah, that'll be good. I like how HBO's still doing a fair amount of home video releases. I appreciate that, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of places out there that just, Netflix has never been huge on it.
I'm gonna get that series just because I like the It stuff, and I haven't watched it yet. But if I watch it before I buy it, which is unlikely, but if it ends up being like fucking horrible, I might not buy it. But I've not heard that it is. So, Silent Night, Deadly Night, that's gonna come out.
Yeah, I definitely want to pick that one up. That was good.
Mortal Kombat is coming from Arrow this year. Hopefully, it is a 2-pack with Annihilation.
I can't.
Just because I don't want to buy that. I don't want, like, if they release them separately, no one's going to buy Annihilation, you know what I mean? But if you release them just together, I'll buy it.
Yeah. I will buy it and I will watch it if they're packaged together. But if it's picking one or the other, I'm just going to get the original.
Exactly. So that's coming from Arrow. They've kind of announced. I think Gremlins 2 is coming this year. And I don't even remember
Nice.
where I heard this. So that, could be just me making things up in my head, hoping that it comes. But that's all I have
mean-
on the list for sure. They're always announcing new stuff, and it's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, and the fact that we're into horror, I feel like there's so much horror, especially independent horror, that still gets physical media releases. I think that's a huge thing.
Well, and
And
with
the
the
boot-
label like TerrorVision, they release so much stuff that I've never seen, and it's like, some of this I want to look into and see if I want to buy. Especially some
Yeah.
of the obscure, like, Asian horror and Japanese horror, Korean horror they've released. Like, that has me interested. I've been getting into some of that more lately, and it just fascinates me. Also, I really just want to collect, all the Godzilla movies. I have about 15 or 17 of them right now, but there's like, we're nearing in on 40 now. When I started
Yeah.
collecting these, there were like 33 films, but since then
Mhm.
we've had like at least 4 more movies come out.
Mhm.
And I don't
Yeah.
even have them all to begin with, and most of them are, DVD, but I'm like, shit. Do I want to get some of these on 4K? Do I stick with like, you know what I mean?
Format's a serious.
should I get the very first one on 4K and then wait until Godzilla 85 and get everything from there forward on either Blu-ray or 4K, but just kind of leave that middle era for DVD because it's hard.
It's tough because some of it the value's there, some of it the cost is almost identical. So I just say you get whatever the best value is on those middle films that are like mid.
Well, there's so many releases of them too, so
Yeah, like do you get the imports? Do you buy the dub? Do you buy the sub? It's like
I prefer most of the versions I have like both versions, which I like.
okay, that is nice then because you do. I mean, obviously, before I started watching everything with subtitles on, I was not as big of a fan of movies with subtitles. But now that I watch everything with it, like it's trained my brain to watch the picture and be able to read at the same time. So that opens up entire categories of films and TV and entertainment that you're just not prepared for until you train yourself.
Yeah.
And then after that point, you're like, okay, I get it. I want to hear like the tone and articulation from the original, and then but there are also some good dubs out there, right? There's some good performances. So
Yeah. I watched Squid Games with the dub instead of the sub. I wasn't
Yeah, that's what I did
proud of
too.
it, but I didn't. I was like, whatever.
That's how it defaulted. Like
Yeah.
it didn't say, "Do you want to watch this subbed or dub?"
I
And that's
didn't-
why we
I
watched
c-
it that way.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it the first time I watched it till I was a couple episodes in and was like, And then
Yeah, that's what I
just
realized
was
too.
used to it, so
Yeah, at that point, and the voice. I mean, I didn't hate it that way, but
anime nerds are purists sometimes where they're like, I have to watch the sub, not the dub. The voices are so much better. Like, I'm sorry. When I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, I don't need Goku to sound like a kindergartner when he's an adult anymore. I'm sorry. The voice
Yeah.
has to change instead of just being the same voice actor, which is an old lady doing a child's voice. When he
Mhm.
goes up to be a man, he should have a man's voice now.
Yeah, I totally feel you on that because
Yeah,
it's
I've
one
seen.
thing.
Sorry, John Martin says Criterion Godzilla Showa Blu-ray collection kicks ass. You should pick it up. Yeah, I need to look into some of those. They recently did the 4K for Godzilla versus Biollante. So like some of those, I'm like, ooh, that was very tempting. I haven't picked it up yet, but
Yeah, it's tough
that's
because
the
like
thing is, I enjoy like all of the styles of Godzilla. Like some of them more than others, but like the really serious tones versus the goofy. I love it both.
well, I mean, I think that some of that comes to because like I saw plenty of Godzilla like growing up that was on like TNT or TBS, like when they would play that kind of stuff, and I enjoyed it. But you really appreciate some of those '70s movies a lot more after you've watched Power Rangers or you were a Power Rangers fan because you're just like, okay, this is goofy, but you
Well,
like it.
See, that's the
And
thing. It's not even those as much for me. It's more of the 80s and 90s and 2000s ones,
okay,
like the Godzilla 85, Biollante,
yeah,
and then the 2000s one, the Tokyo SOS, and like the whatever the fucking giant monsters all out attack bullshit. I can't even remember the titles of some of them because there's just
yeah.
so many and they have crazy title, but there's some really fucking good ones in the early 2000s too that I like. It's just excellent stuff. And even the modern era, like Shin Godzilla was so fucking good.
I'm just so excited that there's so much more physical media now. Like we had a real dip there for a minute, and just if you get a free minute, just go like Google search physical media 2026, and there's tons of articles about why it's making a comeback and why people are getting into it again. And I mean, who was it? Was it one of our episodes recently where they were telling us like some of the songs from Guardians of the Galaxy changed on Disney Plus because they lost the licensing to some of the soundtrack to that? I can't remember who I was talking with about that.
Hmm.
But they're
Yeah.
like basically if you've got the Blu-ray version, the original release Blu-ray of that, you've got all the original.
Some of this you have to confirm for yourself because people will say that about Stranger Things, and there are no provable examples
Oh, okay.
of the Duffer Brothers changing it one single thing.
Interesting.
Now they have said that when they uploaded like the finale for season 4 or something like that, I think that like anybody who saw it for the first 4 hours saw like unfinished effects.
Oh,
like,
because they're still
because they were re-rendering something or something, you know.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So he said there's situations like that, but there's nothing where they're like ever going outright back and changing stuff. But if you found an example, I mean, I'd be like, oh, interesting. But they do.
Yeah.
Disney Plus is particularly bad about that. That they did it with fucking Lilo and Stitch, which Lilo and Stitch did it to itself before it even came out originally too, because of 9/11.
Yeah, and I'm just talking music licensing strictly, like, but you're in an era where that is a huge problem with streaming, is because they'll update it.
Well, that'll prevent physical releases of Guardians of the Galaxy as well from happening in the future. Because that's why Daria doesn't have its music. That's why you can't have an actual version of Beavis and Butthead ever released. We'll never have that. That's not going to happen.
No, the only
going to
Beavis
be
and
weird
Butthead-
compilations.
Yeah, it'll be weird compilations because you won't have any of the episodes where they're doing the music video commentary. There's very few music videos they'd be able to still license to this day.
Yeah.
So
I think when they did the comebacks episodes, they did license the stuff for like, okay, we're going to be able to
Future
do what we want
use.
with this, because I do have Beavis and Butthead, like the complete collection, and it came with like both of the Mike Judge best of sets or whatever, and then also like the season they did in like 2011 or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which I liked because they were watching MTV then and like Teen Mom and shit and Jersey Shore and making fun of them.
Yeah, now they're just like watching streamers and shit on the newest seasons they've done, which have actually been pretty good.
I was going to say it's probably pretty good. I just haven't checked any of it out since that movie, the last Do America Do to the World or whatever.
I think it took them a while. They're not doing it like, they're not doing crazy episode runs. They're doing like 8 to 10 episodes, so that's pretty manageable, and it's still pretty funny because they're not oversaturating it, right? They're not like, hey, we have to have 26 episodes, and this is going to be a crazy burden on you. They're like, we're going to have 8 episodes. Make the best 8 episodes you can make. Love that concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to this year, man. So much cool shit coming out.
So that's probably a good place to end it. We will most likely be back next week. We got to figure out what we're going to talk about, but something. Jesus, cattail. Yeah, I got
spring loaded at that.
Getting schwacked. I got a video coming out about Seed of Chucky this week.
Oh, nice.
And I do have a Patreon/members video. Shout out Ben Gammon for joining the Patreon this week. I highly recommend it. This year it's going to be at least 1 monthly video exclusive, maybe 2. You can also join as a channel member on YouTube if you're interested. I'm not going to ramble on about it, but I do have a video talking about, it's just going to be my earliest movie memories. So I start out talking about VHS that I don't remember watching, and then I talk about theatrical experiences, and then I talk about, well, as well as drive-ins. And then I also, just like physical media, the Switch, the evolution of DVDs, and all that kind of fun stuff. So,
yeah.
John Martin says the Toho Godzilla Collection Volume 1 and 2, all 13 movies on DVD, plus I have Godzilla 85 on Blu-ray. Sick. Yeah, I have like a bunch of random ones scattered. Every time I would find them, I'd buy them. So I have a couple that have like 3 in the pack, you know.
Yeah, I feel like there's tons of those.
A couple
like
that
those
are really
value
cool
DVDs.
editions. Yeah. But those are, some of them are still worth money. Like I have a DVD pack that has 3 of them. I think it has Godzilla vs. Mothra from like 92, and then it has Tokyo SOS, and then GMK. I think that set goes for like $40 or $50 on DVD, or at least that's what I was seeing it go for a while, a few years ago. I don't know. I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to say, so.
Yeah, no, we'll see you back at it next week. We'll definitely have something for you.
Good night, everybody. Hit the subscribe button if you have not. Peace out.
Later.